Food for thought. This is for the people right now that's mourning, people that have lost loved ones, people that could use some comfort. Just a couple of quick scriptures that hopefully will encourage, replenish, restore, and refill. First scripture we're going to go to is Matthew chapter 5, verse 4. Matthew chapter 5, verse 4. This is what the Most High says. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. How does that work? The blessing comes from the comfort. And you can only comfort those who need comforting. The blessing comes from the Most High being able to show you that he is a comforter. But the only way he can show you that he is a comforter is when you are in a situation where you are uncomfortable. And nothing is more uncomfortable than losing a loved one. The next scripture we're going to go to is Psalm chapter 34. Psalms chapter 34. And we're going to look at excuse me, bear with me. We're going to go to verse 18. Verse 18 says, the Most High is near to those who have a broken heart, and saves such to have a contrite spirit. The Most High is near to those who have a broken heart. When you lose someone, you experience that heartache, that heart-shattering feeling. So what he is saying is, when you feel that, because of that, I'm near you. Because when you go through heartbreak from losing a loved one, there's times where you can feel alone. Feel like you on an island. Feel like you by yourself. Nobody understands. That person was something special to me. Nobody can understand that. There is one that can understand. Psalm 34, verse 18. And the Most High is near to those who have a broken heart. He can understand. Draw close to him, because he's near. So though there's times where you feel alone, you got to get in the forefront of your mind that he is near, and put in the back of your mind that I am alone. Psalms 147. Psalms 147 verse 3. And the Most High says, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147 3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. So he blesses those who mourn, because the blessing is in the fact that he can comfort you in a most uncomfortable time in your life. He is near to you when you are brokenhearted, even though you may be experiencing times and feelings of loneliness. And he says he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He mends that heartache, that shattering, that sadness, that depression, that anger, that frustration, the doubt, the confusion. Why? Why is this person no longer here at this time? Though we all know we need to go, we have to go, but sometimes it's like, why'd that person have to go now? And it hurts. But he says he heals the brokenhearted. and binds up their wound. And if anybody knows anything about a bone that has broken and you're in the process of healing, it's not an overnight thing. It takes time. Sometimes you got to rehab it. It has to go through a process of coming back together. And sometimes it's not necessarily as good as it once was, but it's good enough for you to get back out there and function in whatever it is you were doing. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Romans chapter 8, verse 28. Romans 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love the Most High, to those who are called according to his purpose. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love the Most High and those that are called according to his purpose. The trial you go through, it can and will be used for your good. You say, brother, how is that? Well, what is the good? Verse 29 says in Romans 8:29 says, for whom he foreknew, he also predestined. Because he knew what you was going to go through the day you went through it. The day you lost that loved one, he knew you was going to go through that. When did he know it? Before you was formed in your mother's womb. So why would he allow you to go through it? It says, for whom he foreknew, because he knew you before any of your relatives. He knew you before you was in your mother's womb. He knew you before you came out from your father, from your biological father. He knew you. But before they knew you, and before he formed you in your mother's womb, he had chose you. Why? To be predestined. So you had a destiny. You have a destination he has to get you to. What is that destination? To be conformed to the image of his son, of the Messiah. His goal is to get you to look like him. To be situated in relationship with him as his son is situated in relationship with him. Perfect harmony with him. That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he predestined, these he also called. So now we move into, there's a purpose for your pain. There's a purpose for your plight. There's a trajectory for your tragedy. Right? Moreover, whom he predestined, these he also called. He called on you for a purpose, for a reason. There's something he has for you to do. But in order for you to be fit for the job and fit the qualifications to check off every point of that job description, you had to go through. You're going through. For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he predestined, these he also called. Whom he called, he also justified. Justified. Got you to the point. Following the Messiah. Having faith even through tragedy. Still seeing that the Most High is good even when you're feeling bad. He gets you to that point because when you're at that point, now you're starting to get in harmony. Now that justification is just as if you never did no wrong. Just as if you never did no sin. He starts to, he wipes away. He blots out all that dirt and all that filth. He polishes you up. He polishes that instrument up, because now you can be fit to be an instrument of righteousness. And it's hard to see that when you're going through the tragedy and the pain and the anguish that you're going through. It's hard to see that the Father's allowing me to go through this at this time, allowing you to go through this at this time to build you into that perfectly tuned instrument, to play a sweet sound for him. And he's cleaning you up. So that justification is just as if you didn't do it. Just as if you never had no dirt on you. Through the blood of the Messiah, he cleaned you up. And whom he justified, these he also glorified. What then shall we say to these things? If the Most High is for us, who can be against us? If the Most High is on your side, ain't no demon in the world that could try to get you. Ain't no demon in the world that could try to interject insecurity, doubt, hatred, malice, depression, suicidal thoughts, isolation. No, none of that can get to you. Because remember, he said, blessed are those that mourn. Because now he can show you that he's a comforter because you were in an uncomfortable situation. He said he's near to the brokenhearted. So that lets you know you're never alone. He said he heals the brokenhearted. So he's mending your wounds and building you up. And he says all things work together for your good, for those who are called according to his purpose. For whom he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son. All of this is to get you to where you are through this tragedy. All of this suffering is to get you to where you are, even though you're in the midst of pain. Because through this pain, through this tragedy, and through this storm comes the sun. Yeah, it's light. Light is bright as the S-U-N, but that light comes from the S-O-N. And that's who he's trying to get you to be like, so you can be like the light. Grow closer to the almighty power, the Father who is in heaven. He loves you. I love you. And I want to say grace and peace and shalom.